And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment. With me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new Marvel Sony film Spider-Man: No Way Home. That's right, it's officially here. I've seen it twice now, and I really wanted to think about this. And don't worry, no spoilers, but I will be doing a spoiler review either tomorrow or Monday. I'm not sure yet, but I want people to watch it and don't spoil it for people. So if you have seen it and you have friends who haven't seen it or family members, do not spoil it. Okay, so let's talk about it because honestly, there's a lot to say here. First of all, this movie might be, now that I've seen it twice, it's actually my second favorite Spider-Man film right now, behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, what they did in here not only pretty much sets up future Spider-Man movies, it just basically kind of transitions Spider-Man into being his own man, in a way. So, what did I mean by that? Well, in this film, if you didn't know the plots of this film is Spider-Man's identity at the end of Far From Home got revealed by Mysterio. He was framed for a crime he did not commit, and the whole world knew who Peter Parker was, Spider-Man, and then him, Zendaya's character, MJ, and Ned, their worlds get pretty much turned upside down. They're in their senior year. They're trying to, I guess, enjoy it and, get ready for college and all that stuff. And with everybody knowing him as Spider-Man, it gets into the way of those plans that they have. So Spider-Man, Peter Parker decides, you know what, I need to talk to Doctor Strange. And this is all in the trailer, so don't worry about the spoilers unless you didn't see the trailer. So I'm sorry I'm spoiling the trailer. He goes to him, asks him if he can make a spell to have everybody forget. It's actually based off a comic book that actually happened, and Doctor Strange is like, okay, I will do that for you. And then there are some consequences that actually happen where the multiverse pretty much erupts. And if you don't know the multiverse is basically other universes have their own versions of Spider-Man or whoever it is, and they start coming towards the MCU way. Basically, the villains from the original Spider-Man films all show up in this film. So in the trailer, we see Green Goblin, we see Sandman, the Lizard, Electro, Jamie Foxx is returning, Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, obviously. We get to see the Sandman, like I said, and they all start coming. So Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he needs to figure out a way to put these guys back, but there's a catch. If he puts them back to their original time periods, they will die as they got taken out of it. So that's basically the short version of the thing. So, do I like this movie? Yes, I do. I really thought this movie really worked in so many different levels. Yes, it's fan service. It shows us a lot of cool stuff that we all wanted to geek out about. Some things come true that we all been talking about for months or years, depending on how many times we're talking about it. Some things didn't really happen. There are some things that I thought, like, okay, we got to see. It really showed us what Peter Parker has now become since he's joined the MCU. He's basically become a new character in a way in this film. He went from that boy who Tony Stark picked up as like, hey, I need you to come with me to Germany to help out a situation. Yeah, I know you're strong and sticky. I need your help. He's really transitioned that. Yeah, yes, he makes mistakes, sure, but we all know Spider-Man's always been like that. In the cartoons and the comics, Spider-Man's like regular kids. He's a teenager. What kid wouldn't make mistakes if he had superpowers? He has, and he gets to see those, and he has to deal with the consequences of his actions. And I thought they captured that really beautifully in here. The relationship between him and MJ grew, and I enjoy that. I thought that worked a lot. His relationship with Ned also grew as well. I love the dynamic between Ned and MJ. They really, show that not only are they're friends with each other, but they're best friends with Peter, and they will always be with him in any situation he's in. Aunt May was great as always. Yeah, we all love Marissa Tomei, but she was fantastic. But there are some stuff in here that I didn't like. I do wish, and this is a spoiler for the trailer. This has nothing to do with the spoiler for the movie, so bear with me. In the trailer, we all know, okay, he was framed for Mysterio's murder, and you hear James Jonah Jameson talk about it in the trailer. You see, cop cars and his, around, questioning him. You've seen the trailers where he gets interrogated, and I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of him dealing with the consequences of that, through the eyes of the law, through, school. He really wasn't in school that much. He was only in school for like one scene, and then after that, the rest of the movie pretty much takes place where he has to pretty much send these villains home. So what was the point of his, show his secret, but what was the point of having like, oh, making a big deal, like maybe the cops will come after him or something, or he needs a lawyer or whatever it was. It was just like, it made no sense to me. I felt like they could have just been like, oh yeah, his secret got out, everybody knows, and he's just got to deal with that in school. People asking him questions, hey, take me for rides or whatever. We didn't get any of that. It was just like, okay, yeah, his secret's out, everybody knows. Let me go fix it, and that's what he did. And then, like I said, and then there's just one other problem that I didn't like. There's a cameo in here that it was cool to see. Don't get me wrong, I like the cameo, but it served no purpose. It really served no purpose for the film. It was just there, and then it was like, oh wow, cool. Like kind of like if Stanley was still alive, and his cameo had no dialogue, he was just in there in the background. Yeah, we love that, but sometimes his character in the MCU don't really serve purpose. Kind of felt like that with this character. So I was like, oh, awesome, but really didn't serve no purpose. I thought they would have used that character a little bit more in this, since they were kind of advertising that, he might have some legal troubles, but go figure. But other than that, I thought the action was great. I enjoy the transition now that it feels like he's now becoming just Spider-Man, no more longer. Yeah, I'm still in the MCU, but I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do my own thing. I love the MCU. I love you, Avengers. You guys are great. I'm gonna go do my own thing now. You see that throughout this movie. You see, especially towards the end, you see the transition where he might go towards more Sony's direction, where Sony, they just want to focus on Spider-Man. They don't need the Avenger characters to make Spider-Man be awesome. I mean, he might show up in a Venom movie or something, but, he'll be in the MCU, I believe, but, it just won't feel MCU anymore moving forward. That's how I feel. That's how I feel like the ending of this film was. It's like, yeah, thank you, MCU, for helping me out. I'm gonna do my own thing now. I got these other villains I need to go take care of. That's how I felt towards it. And I thought that worked really well, too. So I thought that was great. But yeah, like I said, great action. All the villains felt great. I thought all the villains, all the actors who played those original villains didn't miss a beat. Green Goblin was great. I loved him in this film. I think I actually like him more in this movie than I liked him in the first Spider-Man movie. I know it's a little crazy to think that because he was so good in that one. But honestly, I felt like he was more of a better character here. It felt very, very different, and I enjoyed it. Alpha Molina as Dr. Octopus. I mean, I'm telling you, it felt like he stepped on the first day of shooting the second Spider-Man film, and he didn't miss a beat. He was great. I thought he did it really good. Jamie Foxx, I'm not gonna lie, Jamie Foxx is a good actor. I love him in anything he's in. He got redeemed in this movie. I'm telling you that right now. He got redeemed, and I liked him in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was redeemed in this movie. He wasn't blue, so we all know that. Everybody has their problems with him being blue or whatever. I didn't have no problem with it, but anyway. He was great, so I enjoyed his action scenes. Was great. Just seeing those villains get a second chance of just, some people didn't like them in the other movies. But they kind of redeemed themselves in this one, so I appreciated that. I thought that really was awesome. But yeah, overall, I thought this movie was great, minus the fact that it felt like, okay, you know how like in the other Spider-Man movies, sometimes they have more than one villain, and it's a little bit like maybe too much. Maybe you just putting all the villains in here and not giving us a real story. It felt the opposite here, where this one had villains, but they all had great screen time. It didn't feel like all of the villains were just in your face, like, oh, look at here, he's here, look at him, he's here. They were just, they did their thing. They needed to do what they needed to do. They had their perfect dialogues and all that stuff. It worked. To me, the problem was, it felt like it was two stories in one. Doctor Strange was good, for what scenes he was in, and all that. I thought his purpose was necessary, but the whole thing where it's in the trailer, so the whole thing where he's being accused of murder, and then some certain people start questioning that, and then they just like kind of stop that out of nowhere. Didn't felt right to me, so I didn't enjoy that. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It is my second favorite Spider-Man film behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now I want to see Spider-Man and Tom Holland transition out of the Tony Stark era and have him be just Spider-Man like how he's supposed to be. We're going to see that eventually if we get a fourth one or whatever. But I can't wait. And also, the director of this movie did a really good job, and now he gives me high hopes for a great Fantastic Four movie, because that's his next project. The John Watts, I think, is the director here. I probably butchered that. I apologize. He's directing Fantastic Four after this. So, yes, if he could make a great Spider-Man trilogy, like I said, this is the best one out of the Homecoming universe movies. If he could do this really good, imagine what he could do with Fantastic Four. We're finally going to get the Fantastic Four. They're coming soon, eventually. So, if this director is ready for that, I'm excited. But yeah, I thought everybody did a good job. Tom Holland, I think, is now becoming my favorite Spider-Man. Let's see what he does in the next movies. But so far, it's all good. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the movie. And are you guys excited for it? Not excited for it? Are you nervous about certain plot points or surprises that are in it? Trust me, the hype is real. So go check this movie out if you can get tickets. And if you see it, don't spoil it for people. So leave a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much and have a good day.